Are you looking for a capable security camera without all the bells and whistles of a higher-end model? Maybe you're looking to set up your very first security camera, or maybe you're looking to piece together a large surveillance system on a budget. At Nelly Security, we have the perfect solution for you. Meet our new R-Series surveillance line. We're bringing on more cameras and recorders geared toward lower costs and easier operations. Hey, it's Tyler from Nelly Security, and in today's video, I'm excited to introduce you to the R-Line Vandal Dome, a crisp resolution of 5 beautiful megapixels, a nice and wide 2.8mm fixed lens, an IR range of up to 100 feet, H.265 video compression, a built-in junction box, IP66 weatherproof, an elegant and user-friendly viewing application for mobile and desktop, your newest go-to security camera. Alright, here is the box that it comes in. As you can see, it's pretty small. It's not very heavy. It's a really good size. Let's go ahead and open this thing up and take a look inside. So the first thing you see when you open up the box is the quick start guide, as well as the software CD and the mounting template. And this camera, as you can see, comes with 3 different weatherproof grommets. You've got one for weatherproofing your cable connections, and then these 2 grommets here are for weatherproofing your junction box. Here's the mounting hardware, and then we have the camera itself. So as you can see, this camera is small enough to really fade into the background. It's sleek and attractive enough for you to install this at your home, but it's also rugged and durable enough for a commercial install. This built-in junction box here is also a really nice feature. It offers additional protection for your cables, protecting them from the elements. It also makes the camera a little bit more attractive because nobody wants to look up and see a whole bunch of cables hanging off their ceiling. So this provides a good way to hide the cables inside the junction box. The camera is attached to the junction box with just this one little screw here. So if I unscrew this and pop it off, as you can see, I can simply mount my junction box onto the installation site. And then once that's installed, the camera just clicks right back into place. Tighten this one screw here and you're good to go. This junction box just makes everything a whole lot easier. Now, using a flathead screwdriver, I'm just going to remove one of these screws on the side of the junction box. This will allow me to feed the camera cables through the side of the camera instead of up through a hole in the ceiling. And there we go. As you can see, this leaves a big hole in the side of the camera, so we will need to weatherproof this later before we install it outside. Alright, I'm just about ready to go install this camera, but before I do, I'm going to get my network connection set up. Now, you can plug this camera directly into your router, but if you do that, you're also going to need to run power to your camera through a 12-volt DC power supply. So instead, I'm going to use this simple PoE power supply. I'm just going to plug this directly into the wall and then connect my router and the camera to this power supply. That way, when I go outside and connect my camera to the Ethernet cable, it will supply it both power and connection to the network. So inside, my cable is now connected to the router via the PoE power supply. The next step is to place the mounting template and to drill the holes for the junction box base. But before we do that, we need to make sure that this junction box is weatherproofed. Once that plate is screwed into place, it's time to actually install the camera. But before we secure the camera into the junction box base, we need to ensure that all the cables are weatherproofed and sealed. Now that that camera is installed outside, there are a few different ways that we can access it. We can use a mobile device, a desktop computer, or an NVR. I'm going to show you all three, but we're going to start with the easiest, which is just using your cell phone. Once your camera is installed and connected to the network, you don't need to mess with any configuration tools or anything like that. All you need to do to activate your camera is take your mobile device, open the free iCam application, follow the on-screen prompts to add your camera by scanning the QR code either on the camera or on the box. And that's it, your camera's feeds are ready to view from your cell phone anytime and anywhere. Now let's go ahead and take a look. Alright, there's the feed from our camera. You can see it's very responsive, there's no lag at all. Using the buttons down here along the bottom, I can take a snapshot. I can take a manual recording. Right now this camera is only accessible through my cell phone and a computer. I do not currently have this connected to an NVR. So if I click on playback, you can see there's no video file found. Under your profile, you can go to notifications. You can see a list of recent notifications here, which we can just clear out. And then if we click this gear icon in the top right hand corner, we can turn notifications on for our camera. That means anytime motion is detected on our camera, we will get a notification about it. We can open up the application and see what's going on. Now, iCam also has a desktop viewer application, which can be found in the software CD that came with your camera. Simply pop the CD into your computer, download the software, and you can activate and view your camera directly from your computer, just like you can your mobile device. You can access basic settings such as video resolution and frame rate, image settings, and here you can also edit the motion detection field. Unlike some other more advanced cameras, this software is not overloaded with tons of features that you're never going to use. It's super simple, basic, and to the point. Even if you've never picked up a security camera before, you should be able to navigate these menus with ease.
Now, as I mentioned earlier, there's no SD card slot on this camera. So if you want it to record continuously, or if you want it to record automatically based on motion detection, you're going to have to connect this to an NVR. Now, if you already have a Hikvision or a Dahua or pretty much any NVR that supports OnVIF compatibility, you can connect this camera directly to your current NVR. Now, if you're piecing together a surveillance system for the very first time, we recommend getting an NVR that's the same brand as your camera. So for this video, I'm going to be connecting this camera to this 4-channel 4K NVR, which is one of our new R-Series recorders. When using an R-Series NVR, it's plug and play. This means all you have to do is plug the camera into the NVR's PoE switch, and there we have our camera. We can zoom in and out with our mouse wheel. We can perform a few functions similar to that from the mobile device and the desktop application, such as editing privacy zones or editing motion detection. But now, since we have a hard drive installed in this NVR, what we have access to is a recording schedule. For every day of the week, we can adjust either the continuous recording, which is the green color, or the motion detection recording, which is the yellow color. So for instance, we can have this set up to where it's recording continuously when nobody's at the office, and only recording for motion detection when people are here in the office. So Saturday and Sunday, we'll just leave this recording all the time, continuously and for motion detection. Then for Monday through Friday, we will turn off continuous recording between the hours of 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. Now that we've added this camera to an NVR and set up a recording schedule, we should have access to the playback feature on the mobile application. To do this, simply add the NVR to your app's device list the same way you added the camera earlier. Scan the QR code on your NVR's box. This will give you access to all the NVR's features, including the playback. You can also do this on the desktop application. Since this is a single viewer, you'll have to log out of your camera's interface first, then just log into your NVR. Now you'll see the playback button at the top of your screen. Now that we've seen most of the features of this camera, let's go ahead and take it down and test its durability. Vandal Dome style cameras like this have many advantages over other types of cameras. They're often called vandal-proof because of how difficult they are to pull down and destroy. So just to test how durable and tough these R-Series Vandal Domes really are, I've asked Kyle to come in and give this thing a good beating with our Nelly safety stick.
But not bad, really. I hit it pretty good. All right, and as you can see, I hit it a few good times and there's really no kind of crazy scuffing going on. So yeah, you can take a 2x4 and hit this thing pretty good, and for the cost, you can't beat that.
Well, there you have it. The R-Series 5 megapixel Vandal Dome, your newest go-to camera. If you have any questions at all about this camera or any of our new R-Series cameras, please don't hesitate to send us an email or give us a call. Thanks so much for watching this video, and we'll see you next time.